Everybody, it's your boy Carlos here,
And Joseph.
and this is The
The
Passenger
passenger
Seat.
seat. All right, welcome back, riders, to another week in the passenger seat.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yep.
Sorry about that, Raz. I had to family to attend to, and we unfortunately couldn't record last week, but we will continue recording for the remainder until something else happens.
Right. Obviously, family is very important to us. We put it first here at the passenger seat. So, yeah, sorry for not having any content for you last week, but yeah, we're back at it again this week, and hopefully you will be entertained with our week's topic.
Yes, and I know that we're a little late to the game because obviously there's a lot of YouTubers who probably have already talked about it, but we wanted to throw like our input because we enjoyed it so much. We're going to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yep.
We thought we'd start off with a little bit of the description, and then later on, fair warning to you viewers out there who have not seen it, which if you haven't, please go and do so before they take it out of the movie theater.
Right. A little disclaimer, we are going to be spoiling parts of the movie. We're going to do a general synopsis first, and then a couple minutes in, we'll let you know, hey, this is the part where we're going to start talking about spoilers. That way you can either hop off if you haven't seen the movie, or if you don't care, you can go ahead and watch our video. You can mute our video, that way you don't hear the spoilers, and that way we get the view time on our video, so you can also do that. Help a channel out.
Almost 1 to 100, okay, guys?
Yep.
1 to 100.
1 to 100. We're there, man. I swear, it's like, I feel like it's gonna be a snowball effect. We've been waiting on that to get to 100 subscribers for months now, and then all of a sudden when we hit 100, we'll just suddenly hit 1,000 out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, without further ado, we'll jump right onto it.
Yep.
I guess we'll start off with the synopsis. It's strange to think about it because technically the story is you start off with him trying to change the fact that everybody knows that he's Spider-Man, gets help from Doctor Strange to do so because he wants his I know it sounds funny, but he wants his friends to get into that college. And it just sounds odd when you say it like that because it's like he wanted to change everybody's mindset just because he wanted his friends to go to college.
Right, so a little bit of context, that way our writers aren't lost just in case they haven't kept up with the movies. So in the last Spider-Man film, Homecoming, there was, it wasn't Homecoming, it was Far From Home, right?
I think it's Far From Home with Mysterio.
Yeah, exactly. So the first movie was Homecoming, which we see the Vulture and, him starting out as Spider-Man. And then we have, Far From Home, which is him in Europe, and his archenemy in that case is Mysterio. And at the very end of it, Mysterio makes it so that at the end of Far From Home, everybody knows Peter Parker's, or Spider-Man's identity, which is Peter Parker. And that's where we pick up in the new movie.
Which obviously creates a conflict because Peter, besides Peter being known, everyone around him gets to be known because they're associated with him, which includes his best friend and his girlfriend at the time,
right?
Mary Jane and Ned.
And it also implicates his Aunt May.
Yes.
And pretty much anyone who has, essentially just knows him. And so yeah, that's where the movie picks off. So picks up. Jeez, I keep saying picks off. Picks up. And yeah, like you said, he basically it ruins everything for him, right? Because not only did everybody know his identity, Mysterio also framed him as a murderer. And basically, him, graduating high school and going into college, colleges just don't want to take him in or anyone associated with him
because of the bad publicity.
Right. So basically, MJ and Ned, their chances of going into college also are ruined because of this. And Peter, feeling really bad, wants to go ahead, talk to Doctor Strange to see if there's a way that, things could be reversed, or, he could go back in time and fix things. And Doctor Strange is like, no, we can't do that. That's too messy. What I can do is make everyone forget, that you're Spider-Man.
Yes, essentially, he says everyone, and then Peter says not everyone. I want MJ. Messes up the spell a little bit, and then he says I want Ned. Messes up the spell a little bit, and then he says he wants his aunt. And furthermore, Peter kind of makes Doctor Strange lose focus, and it creates like the biggest plot of the story, which is involving all these other villains coming from the multiverse to his current universe.
Hello, Peter.
Right.
Which is awesome. I mean, it's
Right.
bad for him, but awesome for the viewers.
It is. And I mean, this is not really a spoiler, because if you saw the trailer, then you at least know that Doc Ock is back from the first generation of Spider-Man movies. And so not much of a spoiler there. And basically the plot of the story is that Peter, instead of going ahead and sending these guys back, the easy way, he wants to go ahead and make it so that they don't end up dying in their universe, because if you remember the older generation Spider-Man movies with I'm drawing a blank, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, we know that those villains end up dying in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
So if he were to send them back, they would ultimately die the way that they do in their universe. So Peter Parker basically tries to help them so they can avoid that by removing the things that made them villainous.
Mm-hmm.
And basically that's the plot of the story.
It's the general synopsis, yes.
Yeah, and things that unfold while he tries to do that. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and say it. This is the line where we're going to, moving forward, we're going to be talking about spoilers, the movie with spoilers. So if you're not interested in hearing the spoilers, if you haven't seen the movie, this is your moment. This is your time to go ahead and mute the video and let it run until the very end. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the details of the movie with spoilers. This is your last chance to mute the video so you don't hear any spoilers.
Yes.
We warned you. Just putting that out there.
So I guess
Mm-hmm.
we'll probably start out I would like to say in spoiler order, like in the way of the film, sort of follow like what the spoilers follow from the beginning to the end.
Right.
And obviously, as we told you guys in the beginning, when he talked to Doctor Strange about changing the multiverse, before any of that happens, as Joseph mentioned, Spider-Man is a wanted fugitive now, who was in trial for the murder of quite a few people because of Mysterio. And to get out of the FBI's grasp, he gets a lawyer. And this is one of the most interesting parts when you watch it in the movie theater, because it's one of the first spoilers you get, really, one of the first most interesting things. And that is the sort of bringing in what Netflix brought in before, and that is Matt Murdock, who plays Daredevil. Who's Daredevil? Charlie Cox, the actor. Mm-hmm. And it was interesting. When I saw it in the movie theater, because I didn't get spoiled this. So when I saw it, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
He's in the Spider-Man film. I was like, that is super crazy.
Yeah.
And he helps Peter out. I thought it was. I saw it and I flipped out, and especially because thank God for Marvel Studios getting the same actor. I was right. That was really what fans really appreciated in that moment.
All right, so continue on with the next batch of spoilers. I'm gonna say is obviously something that y'all already saw in the trailers.
Yeah.
So yeah, we get Doc Ock portrayed by Alfred Molina, and then we get we see Green Goblin is the next one, portrayed by William Dafoe.
Which, as well, from this beginning part at least, fans already can kind of see that, because the next one, I believe, who gets introduced after that was
no, it was Electro.
It wasn't Sandman first, and then Electro?
Yeah, you're right. Technically, Sandman does show up first.
So that was the interesting thing, because they show Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man's villains first. So they give you like Doc Ock, Green Goblin, and Sandman. And on to our generation, we were like, dang, I haven't seen that, since I was a kid. So that was really an exciting moment when they show up.
Right. Yeah. So in that same time, we get Electro. Then we get Reptile.
Played by the infamous Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx, of course. Then we get was it? It's not Reptile. It's
the Lizard.
The Lizard. Thank you. I'm getting his names
confused. I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember Sandman or the Lizard's actor, and I apologize, guys, for the actors out there because I don't remember their names.
Right. So yeah, we get those two. Since there were only 2 of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man movies. And then yeah, I think that's it, right?
Out of the villains, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's our next spoiler. That's who Peter Parker basically has to, who's trying to help save their lives by, taking out the things that make them villainous, like Doc Ock. He helps them regain control of the octopus tentacles.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to call him. He's trying to do a thing so that Electro, loses all that electricity power, whatever. He's trying to make a serum for the Green Goblin to, Norman Osborn to go ahead and get that side of his mind out of there.
Yeah. And obviously transform Sandman and Lizard back to humans. Right.
So, while he's trying to do this, Norman Osborn, he cracks. And,
what? One of the best scenes in the movie, Doctor Strange is against Peter's idea. And by Doctor Strange being against Peter's idea, it brings in this awesome fight scene. So there has to be another way between them, where Doctor Strange takes him until the what was it called? But he had a name for it, and I forgot what it was.
The mirror.
It's like this mirror world where he can manipulate reality, and it was an amazing fight. Like it was just trippy, but it was really cool.
It was choreographed and animated amazingly. So props to the MCU for doing that. They did really awesome in that scene. So yeah, basically, at the part where Peter's, helping all these villains, some of them are having doubts, and Norman Osborn cracks and he goes into Green Goblin mode, and basically, he just ambushes Peter. Peter realizes, and I think that was one of the most awesome scenes too.
Oh, I know. Yep.
Peter, his spidey sense picks up on like the bloodlust from Green Goblin. Yeah. Like the total, he's just so evil that he picks up on that, and that scene is crazy. It gave me goosebumps because you then know how evil or how diabolical Green Goblin is as a character.
Yeah, honestly, that scene, I gotta give that to Willem Dafoe, man. His villain voice, like his Green Goblin voice is just, oh god, he's creepy, dude.
I know, yeah, dude. Such great casting for that character. And so our next spoiler, a very unfortunate one, sort of obvious if you know the story of Spider-Man, and the story of, he always loses somebody, doesn't matter what universe he's in. And and that's the death of Aunt May.
Yeah, that was really sad.
At the hands of Green Goblin, and you thought for a moment that she was going to be okay too.
When she got back up.
And you're like, oh my god, okay, she's good. And then she dies, and you're like, oh, dude, come on.
Yeah, and then Happy shows up, and he's just like sees her dying, and I was there like, damn, bruh. It was really sad. And obviously, after this, Peter just flips out and is nowhere to be found, and his friends don't know where he is. So,
before you get into that, let's go ahead and let everybody know, if they haven't seen it, or if you did. Obviously, everyone here who's seen the movie knows that Ned picks up the ring from Doctor Strange.
Yes, I believe he actually... Did he pick it up when Peter was battling him? I don't remember where he exactly picked it up.
I think Peter picked it up and handed it to Ned.
Yes. And at this scene, they're in Ned's house, and they're trying to figure out where Peter is because, he flipped out. And obviously, they were very sad and they wanted to find him. So Ned starts using the ring, which it's the portal that Doctor Strange uses to open up. By doing this, when he calls Peter, he started noticing that the portal shows like where Peter is. And I guess this is like one of the best parts of the movie because this is the part where everyone flips out. Because it opened a portal, but not to the same universe. It opens up to a Spider-Man from a different universe, and this is the Spider-Man of Andrew Garfield, which I flipped out.
Everybody lost their shit in the movie theater. If you didn't lose your shit in the movie theater, something's wrong with you, because that moment was it. All those people who were naysayers of Andrew Garfield suddenly had a hard-on for Andrew Garfield for some reason.
I know.
so
and he
yeah.
He's onto the roof, and he's like, "What? This isn't enough?" And she's like, "No, I want to see more."
Right. So, failing at their attempt to find their Peter Parker, played by Tom Holland, they go ahead and try again. Ned tries, with the portal, he goes, find Peter Parker. And obviously, you expected this to be coming, but it was still just as exciting. With the moment when Tobey Maguire, not in his Spider-Man costume, hops out of the portal.
Oh my God, dude, you don't understand. That's our childhood right there. That's my Spider-Man. I saw him and I was like, yes! God dang, I was waiting for that, bro.
Yep. Goosebumps for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Strangely enough, in a small plot hole here, I know we're dragging this along, but small plot hole, instead of him going, let's try to find another Peter Parker, maybe we'll get to ours. He goes, now that we got you two, let's just go around and find them.
Well, it's also because
they gave him the
both
tip.
Peters gave him a tip of where he would be, and then MJ figured it out because this is where Spider-Man likes to spend his time alone, which is on top of the school, which brings in an amazing scene that I really appreciated because it wasn't an action scene. It was a scene where the three Peters talk. Yeah. And they talk about their similar lives and who they lost, and it was a very emotional scene, but it was actually very good because you get to see these three Peters communicate and understand each other in a way that no one else can understand Spider-Man because no one else is Spider-Man. So right. I thought that was a really cool touch.
Yep. Basically from there they start planning to see how they're gonna quote unquote defeat these villains and sort of help them at the same time. And they have the fight scene at the end. I don't think there's much spoilers. That's why I'm sort of rushing through this last bit.
Yeah, I do gotta say that small conversation before the fight scene was funny as hell.
Oh yeah,
the three Spider-Man talking. They were they were just shooting the shit. Just talking.
It was really casual, and it did make it really funny. So that was definitely a good part. But yeah. Ultimately, they fight the villains. They end up winning. There's a moment where you think that Tobey Maguire is going to die.
It's a very intense moment where Tom Holland's Spider-Man is in the line. That line you don't want to cross, and when he might kill Green Goblin, he might not. And Tobey Maguire was the one to stop him, which I thought was a cool touch because he was the first Spider-Man. So I thought that was an interesting dynamic there when they both look each other in the eye and stuff. I thought that was really cool.
Right. Anyways, they end up helping. They do end up helping essentially these villains, and they do end up sending them back. There is theories of things being seen when Doctor Strange was trying to hold everything
back together.
Yeah, when he's trying to hold the universes together, and these beings that know Peter Parker are trying to come through. There was some theories about things that people saw, potential characters and stuff. So that is very interesting.
Yeah, I think one of them was Kraven the Hunter, which was interesting to me because he's going to get he's the one who's the next villain who's going to get his own film.
Right.
So that was an interesting mix there. But obviously, at the end, our biggest spoiler of all, Spider-Man tells to Doctor Strange that unfortunately he wants everyone to forget that he was Spider-Man, and this includes MJ and Ned, which is really sad because at the end of the movie they don't remember him, and he doesn't tell them who they are. who he is, I mean, and he just keeps it that way so he can keep his friends safe.
Right. However, they are, obviously he still knows them and he's going to try to connect again with them, but they're going to the same college together. So, hopefully he's able to
interact with them again.
Right. Which we keep saying the college, I believe it's MIT.
I think so.
Yeah. So, lastly, we have the end credit scenes, or the so Easter eggs, and that is 2, 1.5, really.
Yeah, I would say the funny part about the trailer is that it came out 3 days after the movie came out in the movie theater, which is the trailer for Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness.
Right. So you could just look that up on YouTube. Not really an Easter egg. The other one, and this was kind of heart-wrenching for me. Not heart-wrenching. It was just kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
It was Eddie Brock, or
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy, and he's in Peter Parker's universe, Tom Holland's universe, and he's just having a drink, and he's talking to the bartender, and he's talking to Venom, and yeah, he just gets sent back to his original universe, and the most interesting part is that he leaves part of his Venom symbiote
behind
in that universe. So very interesting to see what's going to happen with that, because that does imply that, 1, we are going to get a Venom in Tom Holland's universe, and 2, we'll potentially get Carnage, which will be good, pretty awesome to see.
I did find that very interesting to see what they're going to do with that. Tom Holland has revealed that he has signed on for 3 more Spider-Man roles. Not necessarily movies, but appearing as Spider-Man at least 3 more times. So we'll see what they do with that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's basically it. We're not going to drag this along anymore, because we basically got everything that we wanted to say out. Hopefully, if you haven't seen the movie, you'll go ahead and go watch the movie. If we're saying this now, then you got all the spoilers told to you. Right. I mean, hey, if you got to the end of this video and you muted the spoilers or whatever, it's super. Go see the movie for sure. It's definitely one of the best MCU films. And yeah, make sure to like, comment, subscribe on our video. Let us know what your favorite scene of the movie was. Let us know about topics that you'd like to hear us talk about. Definitely. Yep. Any last things you want to say to the writers, Carlos?
I guess not much. Just go see the movie. Honestly, one of the best Marvel movies so far, hands down.
Oh, and let us know who your favorite Spider-Man is.
Tobey Maguire.
I really like Tom Holland, but hey.
Yeah,
it's all good here. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this ride with us today, and hopefully you'll join us next time here in
The Passenger Seat.